Welcome back. The National Association of Broadcasters show just celebrated its 100th anniversary in Las Vegas, where companies showcased their latest AI technology. Zed News videographer Darren Maharaj was on the scene to see the cutting-edge technology in action. Take a look.
Bright light city, gonna set my soul on fire.
That's right, Zoomer News has officially landed here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, to give you a special look at the latest in AI technology on display at this year's NAB conference.
I'm the head of strategy at Hour One, and we're an AI-powered video company. And what we do is we create virtual avatars that are based on real people.
Selecting your virtual human.
You can choose me or any of the other 100+ characters we have.
So the AI is involved in actually generating the virtual twin and then activating the virtual twin.
The NAB show continues to be a platform for exhibitors to showcase their latest innovations and breakthrough technologies. Now, pick your language and accent.
Es gibt mehr als 60 Sprachen und
言語とアクセントを選択します。
And Hour One aren't the only ones featuring AI-generated avatars. Tech companies Move AI and Disguise have just released at the show the first ever motion capture system that can be done in real time and without a suit.
So the way in which the system works is it essentially pulls in live video feeds, detects key points across the human body, 29 in total. And what you can use this for is things like virtual shadows in an XR environment, which typically are extremely hard to generate. We can power digital puppets in things like the metaverse, just all in real time, again without any markers.
When the system is made available in the spring, it will disrupt the current market that spends millions on motion capture by dropping the price down to approximately $75,000.
At the 2023 NAB convention, I'm Darren Maharaj for Zoomer News. Look.
Thanks, Darren. As we've discussed, AI is advancing at an astonishing pace. In the coming years, it's poised to have an even greater impact on humanity. So where does it go from here, Jim?
We're at the start. I think this is an iPhone moment. You know, we can look back and say nothing was the same after that, or a mosaic moment with the birth of the web. So we're really going into new territory, completely new territory. And I don't think society as a whole recognizes how profoundly everything is going to change going forward. Mm-hmm. We live life going forward, but we only understand it in hindsight. Mm-hmm. And we understand how important Mosaic and the iPhone was. I don't think business leaders are understanding how profound the changes are with AI, with LLMs, ChatGPT, and other new technologies.
And it will impact every industry, maybe save for the trade industry. But even then, actually, AI could probably improve their lives to some extent. How about the legal industry? Do they need to evolve, adapt, or catch up?
Well, I think they need to definitely evolve and catch up in some sense. Here's the thing is, my friends, my family, the people I speak to, they say, the reason I didn't go to a lawyer is because I don't know how much this is going to cost me. Like, let's face it, if we run into a problem, are we going to spend $5,000, $10,000, whatever, depending on that matter? It becomes an access to justice issue in a sense. And where I think this technology does come in really handy is in one of two instances. Number one is it can summarize. It could give you what your basic rights are. Clearly, I don't think it's going to replace certain professional industries. I think there's still going to be lawyers, there's still going to be doctors, there's still going to be nurses. But what it will do is it will make it easier for everyday individuals to be able to access justice, access services. And there's another component too, and I think law firms, once they start implementing this type of technology of course, in a sandboxed environment, because attorney-client privilege, you don't want data getting out there on the World Wide Web around what people's most sensitive information may be, but it does reduce the cost. It reduces the time of legal research, drafting documents, using a precedent system, which at the end of the day means that it's going to be lower cost to the individual, thus making access to justice that much more prevalent to the masses.
I'll get you to speculate on the world in which you live and thrive, and that's creative arts. What are the long-term implications?
Well, if we allow it to go unimpeded, we're done. there's not going to be any humans creating any media. It's too cost prohibitive. I mean, if you're Disney and you can make movies for free without hiring actors or writers or all those problematic people, you're going to do it, right? And add to legal fees being cheaper, well, it won't matter if no one has jobs because they won't be able to afford the cheaper prices either. No one's taking steps to prepare our culture for the damage to our economy algorithm programs are going to do. If all we're left doing is physical labor, what exactly culture are we building? I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a plumber, but I didn't spend, 30 years getting better at art to go back and fix toilets.
So would you reverse the advancements?
I think we can make it prohibitively expensive for people to actually abandon humanity as a creative force. We can make it prohibitively expensive for companies to just disregard human input. We can also make it really, really finally the main push towards a universal basic income. I mean...
Is that the end game here?
I honestly think we have so many cultural changes that are going to be coming in the next decades. We can't predict them. Right? When we do eventually get real artificial intelligence, we don't know how transformative that's going to be. We don't know how irrelevant that's going to make humanity in terms of developing anything.
What I think is important is, and we talked about it before, there has to be liability here. You can't just come and invent something that damages people. If they can prove damages, it's actionable. And so I think we're going to have to get our heads around that. And, whether it's in union contracts, negotiations, when they say, well, we're going to get rid of 10% of the employees, that's a negotiation. No, you're only going to get 1% over 10 years, or you're going to compensate, give them a payout and a package and that sort of thing. And I think the mechanism exists for that. But I think people have to recognize that they shouldn't be damaged. Nothing should damage them. And if they are damaged, if it's the fake phone call that defrauds me, I'm going to sue Bell. And then Bell can third-party the app or the developer of the fraud. And so that's what we have to do.
The contract issue is really important. The Writers Guild is on strike right now.
I was just going to say it.
And their main point is preventing studios from using algorithm programs to write.
Scripts.
At any level. Either rewrite or do the initial draft. They want that
I thought
done.
that it was also about not impacting their salaries.
Well, yeah, the streaming services are nickel and diming writers to death.
Security. Well, and job security as well.
But this is what part of what she said about getting contractual obligations to prevent companies from exploiting workers even further.
But how do they fare?
Well, it's a negotiation, right? And you're going to go back and forth, and there's going to be litigation. It is a very complex topic. I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, what is the future of employment law? What is the future of labor law? I actually came up with this idea thinking that there's actually going to be a new C-suite position created, which will be the chief machine human officer, how machines and technology actually interact with human beings. And there's going to be a fundamental shift in the way we deal with everything, especially from a employment and labor standpoint.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. When we come back, final thoughts from our panelists. That's next.